Over the last couple of days, we've already seen the first few trades of the 2024 NFL season. The biggest one that's going to make the most headlines is Davante Adams being traded from the Las Vegas Raiders to the New York Jets for a third-round pick that could become a second-round pick. But the trade that I think is going to have as much impact, if not more, on the team that he's going to is Amari Cooper going to the Buffalo Bills. Now, a few things. I don't think it's gotten enough attention around the NFL and through the social media of the sport that Josh Allen has 2 turnovers through 6 games this year. He has 0 interceptions, and they're a 4-2 football team that not only has been very efficient offensively, but they, in the passing game, I think have exceeded expectations in terms of being a team that's not going to throw the ball a lot, but still get positive yardage almost every single play. And scoring has not been an issue for this team. Another point that I think is important to make is a lot of people are going to look at Amari Cooper's production with the Cleveland Browns early in this season and say, a guy with only 250 receiving yards on 24 catches through 6 games, that's not really that much of an impact. I think if you look at the games where Amari Cooper has been pretty frustrated in Cleveland, this is not only going to be a breath of fresh air for Amari Cooper, this is going to be exactly what Buffalo needs. And that's a number 1 receiver who not only is going to take even more pressure off of Josh Allen, but this is going to make things easier on guys like Khalil Shakur, guys like Keon Coleman, guys like Dalton Kincaid, and Dawson Knox. At the end of the day, this team needed another piece offensively. I think that they've tried incorporating guys like Mac Hollins. They've tried incorporating guys like Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who, after this trade was made today, they pretty much immediately released MVS. I'm almost going to guarantee it now. He's going to end up back on the Chiefs. This is a team now with all of the pieces that they've put together. Offensively, I don't see why not only they don't win the AFC East, I don't see why they aren't up there with the Houston Texans, with the Kansas City Chiefs, with the Baltimore Ravens, even with the Pittsburgh Steelers, if you want to include them, as the top 4 or 5 teams in the AFC. And defensively, again, this has been a team that has done enough. They're mainly going to stop the pass, but against the run, they're not doing great. But against the pass, they're doing pretty well, and they're not letting up that many points. They played a pretty incredible game defensively against Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets, and if Aaron Rodgers doesn't get a Hail Mary to end the first half, this game even looks more lopsided than it was. I understand the whole, what's the best way to say this? I understand the thought to just gravitate towards the Davante Adams trade and say, this is the biggest name that's been moved in a while in the NFL through the trade market. And a trade like Amari Cooper, who again, he's not had that great of a statistical year to start this year, but I would way rather get a guy who, Amari Cooper has been visibly frustrated with how the season was going in Cleveland. He didn't sit out games. He didn't, I'm not going to say Davante Adams has been faking an injury, but Davante Adams has been pretty dramatic since getting to Las Vegas. I don't think he's anywhere close to being a top 5 receiver in the NFL. He has respect around the league. That's great. Amari Cooper is going to provide everything for Buffalo that Davante Adams probably is going to do as well, because, New York already has a lot of guys. New York already has Alan Lazard. New York already has Garrett Wilson. New York already has Mike Williams, who we saw today Aaron Rodgers pretty much throw under the bus for that interception he had on Monday night against the Buffalo Bills. I would way rather take a chance on a guy who was visibly frustrated but didn't allow him didn't allow that frustration to take him out of football games, I'd way rather get a guy like that, like Amari Cooper, than a guy who's been the most dramatic player in the NFL, at least over the last few weeks, in Davante Adams. I just don't like anything that I've seen from Adams on the field, off the field. I just don't see why this is going to gel into being, a great move for the Jets to make. But it's everything that's opposite of this Amari Cooper deal. It's low. I think there's a pretty low risk to this move, but there's going to be a pretty high reward for the Buffalo Bills, in my opinion.